Today we're going to do 3 different Dollar Tree DIYs that cost just a few dollars each, and I really love them and I can't wait to show you. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Lisa Marie, and welcome to my channel, Living My Best Life. I love to do videos on interesting topics, DIY, crafts, quizzes, anything. We can live our best life doing whatever makes us happy. I hope you'll join me. For DIY number 1, I have 3 Maramos and I wanted to build stands for them. And a shout out to She's So Crafty for this idea, and I'll post her link in the description. I started out getting the tumbling blocks at Dollar Tree, and what you'll need just to make one of these stands is a total of 21, and that will be for the 2 smaller ones, 21 each, and if you want to make a larger one, you just kind of have to measure out what you need the size to be and add more blocks accordingly. I forgot to film the part where I used my Waverly Antique Wax to go ahead and stain them and then wipe a little bit off with a paper towel. What I'm doing now is I've created 3 stacks of 3, and then I'm creating 2 stacks of 3 going one way and 1 on the side, and then I have 4 for what's going to be the side kind of top legs. I'm gluing all of these pieces together in the little formations that I had laid out using the Dollar Tree craft wood glue. Feel free to use a generous amount of this glue. It does dry clear so you won't see it, but I did wipe off excess as I went. I don't have one of those 90-degree ruler things yet, so I just kind of used the side of my mat board to make sure that the ends were straight. I'm sure you could do a better job than I did if you had one of those ruler things. If you know what they're called, please let me know in the comments so I can stop saying ruler things. And I'm just showing you how I assemble one. The rest are assembled the exact same way. You'll want to let them dry for at least an hour to make sure it's really solid. Once dry, I'm now going to assemble the stand. So I'm going to take those 2 little side pieces that have the 3 going one direction and 1 going the other, and I'm going to glue them right to the middle of the ones that have 9 on them. And I'll do the same thing for the other 2 stands. I'm going to let those dry for at least an hour before I add the top pieces, which I'm doing right now. I'm going to add glue to the top of each end of the stands, and then I'm going to stand my little tumbling block actually not the same direction as the piece I'm standing on, but so the edges hang over, but it's also level with the side. I hope that makes sense, but you can see when you're looking at it how I've turned them. Here they are, all finished with the Maramos on them, but that just wasn't enough for me. I felt like it needed more, especially since it's sitting on wood, and I thought wood on wood, I need some kind of a distinction there. I have this folk art rose gold metallic paint that I used for my dresser that I redid in another video, which I will link for you up above, and I thought if I just paint the very bottom of the blocks and then like a little piece of the top of the, arms or legs, whatever that stand up, that would just give it a little extra pizzazz. I don't know, what do you think? I mean, it could have looked good either way. Let me know in the comments. DIY number 2, I wanted to make some lights that I could use inside or outside using Dollar Tree products. I bought these 4 jars at Dollar Tree. They're so pretty. They almost have like a pineapple design on the side. I got some of the colored flat marbles, and I also am using some nautical rope that I ordered on Amazon. I'm using some chalk paint made by Folk Art, and it's in the color Nautical. It was purchased as a set from Amazon, and there were about, I think, 8 2-ounce little bottles bottles of different colors so you can kind of sample their paint. And what I'm doing is watering it down a little bit, and I am putting it only on the inside of the jar. Now I know some people do this with a mixture of glue and paint, but I wanted to try it with water, and then you put it in the oven for 30 minutes on 350 and it kind of bakes. Now it goes without saying it comes out really hot, so make sure you use something to protect your hands and let it sit and cool all the way before you do anything else to it. I repeated this process with all 4 jars. I purchased 4 of these fairy lights, the LED lights from Dollar Tree. They take 2 AA batteries each, and you can put them inside of anything or around anything just to give it that really cool lighted effect. I decided to paint the 4 lids with that same nautical blue paint. Once the paint dried, I decided to add the nautical rope around just the side of the lid. I thought that added a really cool touch and made it feel a little more coastal, which is one of my favorite decor styles. And I repeated this process for all 4 of the jars. Now it's time to put the little flat colored marbles on top, and depending on the size of the marble is how many you could actually fit. So I just tried to make kind of a circle with one in the middle, just to add a little more flair. After attaching the marbles to the top, I opened the lids and I got out my LED lights, put the batteries in, and then I'm going to hot glue the actual battery pack itself to the top of the lid, the underneath side of the lid, and then I'm going to unravel the actual lights so that they distribute within each jar evenly and fill it up. I hot glued the side of the battery pack that doesn't have the little switch. I made sure that was sticking out so that I could turn the lights on and off very easily. I love the way they turned out. I love the colors. They're so pretty and they're simple but elegant. You can put them inside or outside and it just adds a little ambiance. I love the romantic kind of lighting they give. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and if you have any other ideas for them as well. DIY number 3 is kind of a mixed media piece and my first try at freehand painting. I took one of the small Dollar Tree canvases on a frame, and I was using the frame for a different project, so I had the canvas left and I thought, hey, I'm going to try painting something like the beach or waves, and so that's what I did. And then I thought, well, I've got to do something with this now, so I have decided to create a frame for it and add some mixed media like seashells on it, and you can kind of follow along. I'm using the Waverly Antique Wax to stain the little tumbling blocks from Dollar Tree and create a frame around the picture that I painted. I'm treating the Waverly Antique Wax paint as a stain, and I'm painting it on all of the blocks, and then I'm using a paper towel to wipe off the excess. I love the effect this gives because you can see the wood grain right through. I bought a little package of seashells from Dollar Tree, and I picked out the ones that I thought would look good on this particular painting. They needed to be small and many of them were too large, but I did manage to find a few small ones, and I attached them to the canvas in the sand with some hot glue. Doing this creates a mixed media, kind of a 3D effect, and I really thought that would be cool. Once my little wood pieces dried, I positioned them on the canvas and just figuring out exactly how I was going to place them. I had done that ahead of time so that I could know how many to use, but it's still a little tricky trying to make sure you get the picture in and them line up with each other. After deciding exactly how I was going to situate each piece, I got out my hot glue gun and I attached them to the canvas and to each other. I decided to add a little bit more of the Waverly Antique Wax just to bring out the wood more, and then wiped it off with a paper towel again. I got out a blade and I cut off the excess canvas from around the sides. And actually in doing so, I realized that the little tumbling blocks didn't stick together as well as I hoped. So I needed to do something to reinforce that. which you will see coming up shortly. I finished the front side of the trimming of the canvas and then turned it over to go ahead and get any excess that was showing from the back, and again using my little blade to accomplish this. The solution that I came up with to stabilize the frame, you know, the little tumbling blocks, was to put popsicle sticks all the way around the outside on the back, and I used hot glue to attach them. That would stop them from bending at each of their seams, and it actually worked really well and was a very easy fix, and no one will ever see it because it's on the back side and will be up against the wall. In going with the theme of mixed media, I decided to add some nautical rope to the very outside edges of the homemade frame that I did, and I thought that really kind of tied it together. I made a little hanger on the back using the nautical rope, and that was pretty easy. Just made a knot on each side and hot glued a little loop to the back. And of course, after I did that, I thought it still needed more. So I found some thinner twine or jute, whatever you want to call it, from the Dollar Tree. I glued that to the inner parts of the frame, and I just used the wood glue for that so it would dry clear and not be bumpy like the hot glue might dry. There you have it, my finished piece, my first actual painting. I'm pretty happy with it. I hope you enjoyed these 3 Dollar Tree DIYs. Let me know in the comments what your favorite was and how you might have done some of them different. I hope you got some creative ideas out of this. Anatidaephobia, I think I'm saying that right. That is the fear that somewhere, somehow, a duck is watching you. And now you know, and you can be part of the conversation. See you next time. Bye.